Alright, so in this video I'll be explaining the idea of JK flip-flop, and for that I'll also be covering the contents of JK flip-flop like symbol, circuit diagram, truth table, characteristic table, excitation table, as well as the equation. So stay tuned and watch the whole video. So this is the symbol, as you can see, and there is J, K, which are input, and then there is a clock, and then you have that set and reset, which are QT and QT plus 1. And this is the circuit diagram, as you can see. So we took 4 NAND gates, which is not an AND gate combined. Now you have to look that just like SR flip-flop, these inputs are somehow interconnected with the output of these NAND gates. Okay, like this input came from the output of this NAND gate, and as well as this input came out of the output as from this NAND gate. So this is the connection and circuit diagram using NAND gates for JK flip-flop. Now this is the truth table. Okay, it's just like the 3 input truth table for any analog circuit. So there's 4 0 4 1, and you know the rest. But now I'll be explaining the interesting facts about this truth table and how we got this 0 1 and all that stuff for this QT plus 1. Okay, now take a look at this one. Like when JK both are 0, as this scenario, the QT plus 1 is absolutely identical to QT. When they are both have the same value, which means they are identical. And when J is 0 and K is 1, then what happens is that QT plus 1 is always 0. And when J is 1 and the K is always 0, for this kind of scenario, the QT plus 1 is always 1. And when J, K both are 1, just like this, then you have to notice that QT plus 1 is the opposite of QT. And when the QT is 0, the QT plus 1 is 1, and when it's 1, then the other one is 0. So they are completely opposite to each other. Okay, so that's how we got the truth table for JK flip-flop. Now as for the characteristic equation, we just got this one from the truth table. As I have mentioned that when J and K were both 0, the QT plus 1 was identical to QT. And when J is 0 and K is 1, the QT plus 1 was always 0. And when J is 1 and K is 0, the QT plus 1 is always 1. And for this scenario, when both J and K are 1, then QT is equal to the opposite of QT plus 1 is opposite of QT. Okay, now this is the excitation table. Now how did we get this one again? We got it from the truth table, just like this. You see that when QT is 0 and QT plus 1 is 0, then for this scenario, when QT is 0 and QT plus 1 is 0, this and this, you have to notice that J is always 0, this 0 and this one, and K is whether 0 or 1. It's varying from 0 and 1, so it will be undefined, and J is 0. As for this scenario, when QT is 1, QT is 0 and QT plus 1 is 1, just like this one, the green marked scenario, for this combination you have to notice that J is always 1, like this one and this. As for the QT, however, it is undefined because it's whether 0 or 1, so it's undefined. And you can understand the rest of the things by yourself, that when QT is 1, QT plus 1 is 0. For this kind of combination, as like the blue marked areas, as you can see 1 0 and then 1 0, the k is always 1. Okay, and the j is varying from 0 and 1, so it's undefined and 1. And this is the scenario as this one 1 1 1 1. So you have to notice that j is varying from 0 and 1, so it's undefined, and k is 0 and k is 0, so it's 0 0 and then undefined. So that's how we got the excitation table. Now as for the characteristic equation, we'll be extracting the ones from qt plus 1. Like we have a 1 at the second slot and then in 5th, 6th, 7th. Okay, and if we plot them into the k map like this is the k map, and just like the second slot we had 1, so we gonna place 1 in here, and then 5th, 6th and 7th. Okay, so if we solve this k map, how do we get the equation? So you have to notice that it will be like k prime qt plus j q prime t. How did we get that? Is as if that this portion is in this k prime as well as qt, so it's k prime qt, and this one is both these ones are at both q prime t and j, so j q prime t. So that is the characteristic equation for jk flip-flop. Hope you understood all that. So if you have any question regarding the jk flip-flop, let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Until we meet again, take care.